as you know, Bank of America is not our friend. You know, it's really sad. In 2007, we refinanced with Countrywide, and in 2008, I fell and broke my back. So I couldn't work. So we were running short on money every month, so I went to Countrywide and I said, I need help. And they said, you know, didn't answer me. So then in 2009, then Bank of America took over, and I went to them and I said, I need help. So they actually let us submit paperwork. We submitted the paperwork 3 times, and they just kept putting us off. Finally, they let us start making a modified payment, which was supposed to be a modified payment, but it turned out to be a forbearance. I didn't know that. So then in 2000, so I made the payment from September 2009 to, my husband died then in April 2010. I called them and I said, my husband died, I need help. They still didn't do anything. So in September 2010, when I called my payment in, they refused to take it. So I scrambled trying to figure out what to do, tried calling other people, and nobody listened to me because it was Bank of America. So then in December 2010, I got a letter from Bank of America saying they were going to foreclose. They posted the door. So I ran out and I hired an attorney, Kramer and Caslow, out in Irvine. They turned out to be a fraud. And in August of 2011, they were taken over by the Attorney General's office. On September 22nd, 2011, they foreclosed on my home. The only way I knew is because at 8 o'clock that night, people start calling my house. Do you know your house foreclosed today? Wow. I got no other notification. Nobody told me a thing. I had no clue that it was out of the auction block that day. So I went to, I contacted the Attorney General's office, I contacted the State Bar, I contacted my friends, I contacted everybody at that point. And finally, in October of 2011, I contacted Linda Sanchez's office. She contacted Bank of America, who really gave me a loan manager. This lady named Janet Rosser, my loan manager, wouldn't let me submit new financial information, wouldn't let me turn in anything. She just said, we're looking into it. September 22nd, they foreclosed, and then I contacted Sanchez. Bank of America told Linda Sanchez's office that they were talking to my husband. And when I said, excuse me, she says, well, who's Wilson? And I said, my dead husband. He died in April 2010. I instantly emailed her over a copy of the death certificate. She contacted them and they went, you know. So that just blew me away. I mean, I sobbed that day. You can't even imagine. So then we waited until September, we got the notice to go to court December 16th. I joined ACE, Alliance for California Community Empowerment, down in LA. They were going to try and help me, you know, save the house. I met with their attorneys and other stuff, and nothing. So December 16th, we went to court. The only thing they could get me was 30 days. So today's the last day to get all of my 30 years worth of stuff out of this house and be on with it. So, but I thank you guys all for being here because it just means a lot.
What reason did they give you not to reopen your case?
They never gave me a reason. They never would talk to me. They would just, sometimes they'd call, but other times they'd hang up. The phone number that came through, you know, I recognized it after a while as Bank of America's number, but they never would talk to me.
Bank of America's bad loan practices. We're here because 1 in 5 foreclosures occurs in California. We're here because in 2012 there's going to be a projected 2 million foreclosures in California. And you know, most of all, we're here because Jenny, you know, she's our neighbor. She's an active community member. She's been involved in our personal lives. You know, Bank of America didn't attend not one of my cross-country meets. they never drove me to school. You know, that was all Jenny. You know, and during this economic recession, Jenny, she suffered personal tragedy, job loss. And during the same time period, Bank of America got huge, enormous bailouts, and that's just wrong. And you know, I just want to ask, you know, where was Jenny's bailout? Where were the bailouts for the, you know, million of other people that needed them?
Over 7 million